Hi and welcome. My name's Mike.
And my name is Carl. This is a Corepunk Podcast, the first of what we hope will be many episodes centered around a game called Corepunk. This episode is brought to you by Loonbase, but more about that later. Right, Mike, I'm excited to get into this. I know we've been talking about this privately for a while now, and we've decided to do this as a podcast. Where are we going to begin? I'm coming in fresh off a bit of coffee. I'm a bit hyped. Yeah.
Good.
You be the captain of the ship. Steer me. What are we
I'm
doing?
going to steer you through for the next, hopefully, hour. We're gonna have a proper deep dive in this in a future episodes. But I thought what we'd start off with this episode is basically what is Corepunk? You know,
what is it?
What is it? Well, you know this, but for the fans at home who maybe don't, it's a MMO, but it's an MMO with a bit of a twist. That's
right. For someone who doesn't know what MMO means, what does it mean?
So, MMO is a massively multiplayer online game. So, the one people probably will most recognize as an MMO is World of Warcraft. Think of generally, it's kind of a RPG, so a role-playing game. You make a character, you live that character's life, and you go through adventures, stories, quests, you name it, riches galore, all that. And that is what this is. But rather than, that kind of what we expect from maybe a more generic MMO, is that this has got a kind of a unique perspective that it's a isometric.
It's isometric.
Yeah. So it's different. So and there's a built-in fog of war mechanic, which we'll go into a bit more in a bit later. But when I first saw this, and I think you sent me the link initially, was it proper stood out to me that it's trying to do something different, but not.
Yeah, the thing I saw I think I saw it on IGN, and then the thing that stuck out to me was it's just sort of the polish and the look of the game was so clean and sort of.
Yeah,
I don't know how to.
The art style is really good.
It's unique but familiar.
Yeah,
in the weirdest way.
Describing it, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it thinking, oh, I know that, but I've never played Corepunk.
Yeah, because I think familiar. Like we've grown up with gaming, since we were kids, and a lot of games initially were that kind of isometric top down. We didn't have 3D. That's maybe showing our age a bit, but that so that familiarity of that kind of angle of you're looking down onto the world rather than you're looking through your world's eye.
Character's eyes. Yeah.
And I said, the art style grabbed me definitely. I think that's something that plays to its strength. I think having that kind of fog of war thing, like we'll get into the kind of mechanics in a bit, but we'll definitely.
It'll be fun to sort of in the battle play of it. Will be fun to use to your advantage, or it could maybe you'll be attacked out of the fog of war, and it'll be a bit of a disadvantage at times.
Yeah,
it's obviously going to be. It's going to be well thought out. There's a reason they've done it clearly, and that's
I've never designed a game, but I would say that is a very conscious choice to have you. Pick that
only seeing your immediate surroundings,
immediate surroundings and stuff. So rather than just talking about it, let's actually. I'm just going to put up the trailer for us.
Yeah, let's have a look,
and we can have a little look at what this is going to entail. I'm
sure people have already seen this before, and I know that there are probably loads of. Look, this came out. This is the alpha that came out in 2020.
Yeah, and
so people have seen this. This isn't sort of new information. We're not.
No,
it might be for some of you, but for the people who are probably watching this video, hungry for content. This isn't new information, but the beta's coming.
The beta
so let's
is coming.
Get hyped.
This is what has spurred me on, and we've talked about it numerous times. It's getting closer. That beta's getting closer. It's going to be here at some point, and we're going to play it hopefully, and we're going to. Well, let's just put the trailer on. We won't
Yeah,
watch it
we
all
can carry
because
on
it's
talking.
15 minutes, but we'll
Yeah, this is the alpha, isn't it? So this is the
So-
gameplay they showed.
yeah, this is a while back.
Yeah,
But cast your mind back to the first time you saw this.
Yeah.
And like you say, instantly that top down. Like I'm looking at this now, and I feel like I've played a game similar to this, but not this.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the thing is, sort of one change that I saw from this and the first trailer that they showed was that you now see your character's head in that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think what it is in the UI.
the
And
like
the hood.
that avatar in the center there.
Yeah, because you didn't have that in the first trailer that they showed. It was just I think it was the image of the classes, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Which I don't know if I prefer or not. We can probably get the first trailer up as well in a second, couldn't we? And just have a look there.
Definitely.
And then come back to this one.
Yeah.
It's all about that guy in the chair outside on the porch chilling.
Oh, this guy here.
I want to talk to him. I want to know what his story is.
Well, the thing is I think you probably can.
Yeah,
this is the thing. This is the thing I got when I watched this. Two things struck me because, like I say, I have played MMOs before. I've played them for many years, probably far too many. But the thing that struck me was the thing that struck me initially was
experience.
Voice lines with just NPCs.
Yeah, voice acted. Yeah.
We're so used to seeing just text. The fact that adds that audio kind of that really got me excited. And
it's a nice touch, isn't it?
It's definitely, yeah. And this is, we've got to remember, this is 2020.
The
very
alpha.
early access. Yeah, it's not even anything that anyone's played. And it just feels like
there's a lot of polish there, isn't there? Clearly.
There is. There's a lot of polish.
A lot of care.
Yeah. And
look, and you're seeing that fog of war.
Yeah, so that you can see at the edge of the map here, there's a kind of, you can't see what's in that bit, which, when you're talking about MMOs, you talk about adventure, and the unknown is part of the adventure, isn't it? And I think there's definitely,
you know what I'm thinking about this fog of war?
Go on.
The only thing I've seen with games like this, it uncovers the map, you know what I mean? But you're seeing here in the top right in the mini map, you're not seeing it uncover. You're seeing, you know what I mean? It's only showing still your own perspective. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like usually you'd be uncovering the map, wouldn't you? It covers back up.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you know what I mean? I wonder if you'd gone into this area now and then you turn back, maybe something had spawned, something like that you wasn't there just a second ago, but because it's been covered by the fog. I don't know. I bet there'll be cool little mechanics like that they can put in.
I'm getting a slight bit of a desync from you there, Carl. Audio and visual. We'll say bye-bye and then we'll say hello to you again. Yeah, there we go.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I there?
You hear there. Yes.
The internet goblins.
The internet goblins are wonderful. Now, the other thing I will want to touch on whilst this is on before I forget to talk about it is the communication system.
Oh, the ping.
The ping system. Now, we've seen in a lot of games recently that ping system come into fruition. They don't exist in MMOs, really, that you can put markers down in certain games and stuff. But that intuitive, like we've witnessed here already, when one of the characters that is walking around spots something, they ping that exclamation mark. There's no voice chat. These guys aren't talking to each other. Like there, you can see he's going, look over here. So and I think that's going to be great for, obviously, we're going to play together. We're going to be on voice chat and stuff. But when you think of that kind of social interaction, maybe you are a player who plays by yourself, but come across someone, and maybe you party up. Maybe you're not confident. You don't want to talk on audio, because I do believe voice chat's going to be into the game. There's going to be an in-game one. But maybe like having that ping system is probably going to be more attractive to some people because they don't have to.
Yeah, it's nice as well for, say, like, we have friends with kids, obviously, and if they're wanting to jump on, but there's stuff going on in the background, they don't want to be on chat.
Yeah.
The ping system's always handy just so we can play together still and not. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it accessible. And accessible's a word that I've written down on my little trusty notepad here. Because
yes. I have no notes, and I wish I did.
Yeah, well, it's fine. Like I say, I'm your captain.
You're the captain.
We're gonna
Steer
go
this ship.
Steering this ship. So yeah, I think accessibility is a big thing. If, like the daunting thing for a lot of people with MMOs is they are quite in depth. Like, these are games you play for months, years, for the most part. Now, if you feel like, certain other games, other MMOs, subscriptions are big paywall, like a paywall, literally, and a barrier to entry and accessibility. And I feel like this kind of ticks that accessibility of, yeah, you don't need to have your headset on. It might be beneficial, but, like, you can play this game, like you say, if you've got kids, if you've got 10 minutes, it feels like, I feel like I could jump into this game.
You can jump in, yeah. That's what it looks like. Yeah, you could jump in and out so easily, couldn't you?
Yeah. And
whilst we are talking, sorry, just it kicked off, whilst they are in these counters and stuff, I wanted to mention the music and these sort of little bits.
Yeah.
Because you can hear it as they're entering encounters and they're just sort of exploring. The music's swelling in, out. It's always in key with each other.
Oh,
I know that isn't a new mechanic, but it is just such a nice touch.
The atmosphere, isn't it? Like,
these
guys are just searching. They can't see what's ahead of them. Is that lull now?
Exactly, yeah.
But then as soon as those spiders appeared and those enemies, that kind of the guitar riff kind of jumped in.
Are you able just to boost the volume for me a little bit? Is that all right in this video? Let's give the audience a little bit more of that whilst we're talking about it.
How's that?
Yeah. And I'm sure, so they've just entered a new area here. Yeah, you can hear that new bass line coming in.
Yeah. And it's
and I'm sure
music
soon,
with the atmosphere, you can hear the frogs, you can hear the crickets, you can hear the flies.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure they get into a new thing now.
That shouldn't be exciting, but to me that is, because whilst you're not constantly listening going, that's a frog I can hear in this swamp, you are subconsciously hearing it. So when you're exploring, you feel a bit more immersed. I feel, if I was playing this now, I would feel like I am in kind of stagnant swamp. What dangers are around the corner? Like, that's the excite level I had when I was watching this the first time.
Yeah, and I think the sound design is called Alexander.
Yeah.
And he's obviously just an absolute king. Because you can tell that, like we said, it's already in alpha. And the work that's going in just to make it, like you said, the atmospheric.
Hello.
Add into the places that you're in. The voice acting.
I was looking for you.
It's great. Even just these little bits.
I promised to help her with the door, but all the spare parts are at the garbage dump, and I'm afraid to go there. Some soldiers posted.
But can we skip in a bit to where they get into that altercation near the end, where it kicks off? Let's just try and show them. Keep going.
I think this is the entrance.
Oh yeah,
isn't
this
it?
is it. Yeah. So if you pull it back a bit, we'll hear that swell and how it comes in and out.
Yeah. So I think they have to work out how to get through the gate, don't they? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is.
Yeah. So here we go. Put the music up here and we can hear it. It's already in key, and then. And that guitar comes in. Bam. Straight let's
comes
go.
In.
Class. And it'll drop back down once this goes. It's nothing new, but it's just I'm all for it.
But this is the thing: is it may not be new in certain games, but for an MMO genre, I do feel like.
Yeah. Does it? I've not played much WoW. Does it have that sort of thing?
So they all have their soundtracks. Like Guild Wars is the same. Like they're the two I've predominantly played, WoW and Guild Wars. And they do, but like they don't dynamically change. They change when you change areas, and there is localized sounds and stuff, but not to the extent that where it feels like the atmosphere. And that's, I think, what drew me to this even more is because you're not seeing it in that 3D, the character's eyes. You're not looking out at the world. You're looking down at the world.
Yeah, it's not first person. Yeah.
So your immersion is. It'll kick in again now. And like, it's probably such a simple. I mean, no, it's probably not a simple thing to add. It's a simple effect. You know, like it's a simple touch, just like the crickets.
It's just a little touch in it. It's just it's class. Do you want to whack that down? We'll.
But yeah.
Just because I get too into that guitar.
So that was kind of our. I'll just bring us back into.
Yeah, I go a bit off on a tangent at times. So.
No, but this is the thing. So that was my introduction and yours as well, wasn't it? That kind of.
Yeah, I think so. I think I did see the original trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was
when that dropped. That was just like, yeah, okay, this game, let's go.
I think it cemented for me that because and this is the other thing I respect about the developers is they've always been like, hey, this is what we want to do, but like they've never kind of.
Yeah, because Artificial Core are quite a new team. I think this might be their first game, is it? Because I'm sure they've been working on this for a good couple of years now, like going off what I've seen in previous videos and the behind the scenes videos.
And from my understanding, they're not. You know what I mean, you talk Blizzard, you talk ArenaNet and stuff, and you know these are.
They're not a massive team.
No, and
let me find
all about. I'm all about that.
I'm on their website now and I can't see anything but just Corepunk right now. So yeah,
anything but Corepunk. Let me bring.
No, it's just nothing but Corepunk here.
Yeah, nothing but Corepunk. Yeah. So, I would suggest if you've not watched that trailer and you're interested in Corepunk, just go and watch it. Headphones in for the ultimate kind of. You get that audio experience.
Yeah.
And if you have watched it, watch it again because
why not?
We're getting closer to that beta, hopefully.
Yeah, I think August 25th, which I'm pretty upset about because I'm supposed to be away that weekend. So
well, you're just not going away, are you? That's the answer to that.
Is that it? Yeah. Right.
But,
cool. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, just cancel that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's fine.
Yeah. So breaching in a bit further, so we exposed ourselves. That's maybe not the right word to use.
Let's not expose ourselves in this podcast. Thank you very much.
No exposure. But our first kind of glance into the world of Corepunk was these early trailers.
For us. Yeah, for us, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely. And to me, if a 15-minute gameplay trailer can make me want to play a game that I don't know anything about, you're winning. You're onto a winner.
Yeah.
I mean, we see the, like other games with when, the E3s and various other game shows are on, and you get 20, 30-second trailer, and you're like,
yeah.
And with this, I was just like, all right. Yeah.
For an alpha as well, it looks more finished than most games I've played lately.
Yeah, and that's it. And and I'll be honest, I don't think they're kind of bullshitting us with that kind of, we've done a polished version, but actually it's not that.
Yeah, no.
I do get that impression that this is actually what the game is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
it's not.
It's like, so going in a bit further, when I was talking about the atmosphere and stuff, I do want to bring this up just ever so slightly. Let me share my stream with you a second.
Yeah, I've got the.
So you should be able to see that now. Can you?
Yeah, I've got that now. Yeah. Oh yeah, the screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that HUD I was talking about. So this must be pretty early on from that
yeah,
alpha.
this is early on, and obviously things are always going to change. And that's the point of alphas, betas, and development, isn't it? They work out.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah.
But this little slideshow that we've got going on here, the vast differences in the environments.
Already, yeah. I was just, yeah.
Like,
100%,
look at that.
Yeah.
So this looks like that kind of old medieval. Oh, now we're in that kind of crypty. And then,
yeah.
Like every screenshot that this goes through,
Yeah. And it's so unique, isn't it? It's like.
Yeah.
And each.
Go on.
Yeah. I was just going to say, each is so filled with different things. You know what I mean? You can. Like, it's not. There's not a part of this screen that's boring to me to look at. There's something I want to go check out here, there. Even just the rain coming down and the puddles there just looks well nice.
Yeah. And look, we'll bring that video back up in a bit. The environmental effects are another thing that I've found with this.
Yeah.
Like, we can see there is rain falling on that static image.
Yeah.
Which is.
Have we got? Is this just a slideshow? Can we pause it?
Yeah, we can. I can pause it for you at any point.
Yeah.
Like this one. This one
look
looks
at that.
drastically different to me than here, but they both feel like they are interesting environments to be in. This one obviously looks more like a kind of typical fantasy medieval town.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And they've said that it's open world, so it's going to be interesting to see how we travel in between these. I know I've seen the train in, I think, in the original trailer. There's that train.
Yeah, there's no fast travel, is there? That's the other thing.
No. Is there not? Is that? Do you know if that's been confirmed?
My understanding, because like those trains and things are how you get around. You can't.
Oh right, yeah, you just can't teleport to one.
Yeah, to my knowledge, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something, but it's something that grabbed me. Like you say, there is that clip of the dwarf guy running onto the train, isn't there, and taking them off and stuff.
In that clip, there was an audio clip from a different. I think it was Devlin. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The YouTuber.
Oh yeah.
Like watching his content. If you've not seen his content, go check it out. It's great. But there was an audio sample from him, and I think he was in a podcast with Eugene, the producer.
Yeah.
And they're talking about that little touch of the smoke. So when I think it's a dwarf character. I don't know.
It's it's near that train bit, isn't it? Yeah. And there's like a vent. And
and then the smoke. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
so
I mean.
He walks through some smoke, and then the trail of smoke follows behind him.
Yeah.
And it's just those little touches again that we're talking about that all build to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't. Lovely. Yeah, you are viewing the world down, so they have to do those little touches. And I'm all about all of this. Like.
Yeah.
That is very brown. It's a very beige screen there. But there is, and typically that isn't a desirable thing. But there's just.
I think that's one of the camp settlements that they've mentioned that you can go, and obviously there's going to be different loot for completing them and stuff like that.
I mean,
not 100% sure.
Just look at the enemies as well. This is the other thing that I was going to touch on, because we were saying like the environments, and onto that the actual setting of Corepunk. So it's not just. Most MMOs are set in that kind of lovely high fantasy medieval castles, and there's witches and there's mages and there's warriors and this stuff. This has got like the core, the punk element.
The core punk.
We've got the core punk. Like
it's got all the punks.
It's got all.
That's what it is. It's all the punks. They've got cyberpunk, steampunk.
Exactly. Like and I don't know if they're on. If there is any on. Where are we going? You can see here. So this guy is this Dalsey guy is in a kind of mech, not a mech suit, but he's in metal armor. Like, but it's not that kind of medieval plate. You can see they've got like, and the introduction of like there is yeah, okay, there's magic. Like we'll talk about the classes and that a bit in a bit, and how like we make characters and stuff, and maybe what we're expecting to see. But like again, Dalsit up there in the corner in this one, he's got a huge shield on his back. But
yeah, that was a good thing about what they did.
Yeah.
They instantly mentioned that in the first trailer, didn't they? That all armor and stuff was like the cosmetic skins. It's just cosmetic. It doesn't buff your stats, so you can look the way you
Look how
want,
you want.
basically. And it's gonna be great.
And yeah, going further into that is going to speak to a lot of people. A lot of things with a lot of MMOs is the new content comes out, and it's usually dungeon or raid content, and the only way to get that to look cool is by grinding for hours and hours and hours, and people don't have hours and hours and hours. Now I do know they have said there's gonna be like sets that are gonna be hard to obtain. So when you see someone, and I this is what I love about games like this, is when you see someone in that set of armor, or they've got that weapon, and you know that they have done that work. They have got that.
Yeah.
But I also love equally that, people can't afford to put hundreds of hours into a game, but they still want to look cool. They shouldn't look like a beggar in the street just because they haven't got hundreds of hours to play.
Yeah. So it's crafting, isn't it? So you can craft some really cool sets of armor. So you could just.
I think that this actually shows it, doesn't it? You can see there the shortened mangler. This is obviously a forge in the center of the screen. But yeah, and from my understanding, and we will dive into the trinkets and the weapons and the stats and that. That's probably going to be another episode for a full.
Yeah, I think next episode we'll probably get a bit more of a deep dive into stuff, won't we?
But yeah,
this is just more of a hype.
This is I am hyped, and that's the thing. Like, like there's little things here. This little scene here. Initially, you just think, oh, little market town. Why is the shoes hung up on the telephone? Can you see that here in the center?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Yeah, that looks great.
Those little things, they're not. It's not big, but it makes that environment real. Because we've all seen that in real life. I've seen a pair of shoes hung up.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
If you look, like people are having conversations, and these.
Yeah, that's my thing. There's so much going on already in just this little one shot of the town.
They're Converse shoes, right? And the guy here has got a lute, musical instrument, a typical kind of more medieval, and that fusion of
those two worlds clashing.
Yeah, because there's no MMO that I've played, at least, or has that kind of aesthetic and those kind of worlds and blend it well. Usually we get sci-fi and we get maybe steampunk sci-fi and we get fantasy medieval. And this is like...
This is getting them all together, yeah.
And I'm so happy.
And they're pulling it off. They really are pulling it off.
Yeah.
What's that guy doing in that shower?
What is he doing? And why is Jester guarding it? Like, is he...
Yeah.
What's his story? And why is he showering when everyone else is busy? Like, these guys are working the forge here, and he's just...
Yeah, it's just cleaning off, and he's been at work. He's hard.
But again, I imagine the water effects, like we were just talking about the smoke and stuff. Yeah. If you can interact with that water, it'll probably look sick. And if weather's in it, weather's always good.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's a bit of water there. That rain coming down.
Yeah, you can see the puddles, can't you? Here. And this is just a static image, like these are just screenshots from the alpha.
I'm looking forward to the seasonal content as well, because they put up that image. I think they did like a Christmas post, and one of the market towns had like Christmas lights up. I think it had a Christmas tree in. I'm sure that was on the. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Bring that up for the viewers. Yeah, so this was a Happy Christmas, New Year, and that's the other thing is, okay, they haven't posted loads and loads and loads, but they've posted when they've got something to say.
Yeah,
and
that's what you want.
And I kind of respect that more than just feeding us something that is.
Yeah. You don't want them just to make up things. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't need to hear from them all the time.
No, and
Like I said, this, especially with everything that's been going on with COVID and everything in the last year, we know that development slowed down.
yeah.
Everyone knows that. We get that. We don't need telling that. We
No.
we know, and we know that they're hard at
Well,
work.
that's
for
why I
it.
want Corepunk, because I want to live in a world where, okay, there might be plague and disease of a different nature, but I
Yeah.
don't want to be thinking about. I don't want to be thinking about
Yeah.
COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to be a massive orc, and I want to be hitting stuff as hard as I can, shooting stuff, whatever it is.
Yeah, I still don't know what I'm playing yet because I wanted to be Gandalf. Can I be Gandalf yet? I'm not too sure because I think the only sort of mage person I've seen so far is the Warlock.
Yeah,
Is it the Warlock? I'm sure.
there is.
Let's see.
Um,
Have you got the heroes there? Let's get on the heroes. I'm
yeah, so
sure.
if you go to the heroes.
I'm sure it's called Warlock. Yeah, that one there.
This
Oh, Pain
one.
Reaper.
Pain Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where have I got Warlock
well,
from?
this is. Well, I mean,
Oh, there we go. Warlock class. Yeah, that's right.
that's why
Yeah,
you've got Warlock,
right.
because there was a Warlock. Yeah, so
That's fine.
I think we'll go into these more specifically, because from my understanding is the Pain Reaper is, you see these two scary folk. These, when you want to play the Pain Reaper, you pick between the male and female of this character, and then you play the 3 subclasses.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So you
So
won't
the
be.
classes race locked sort of thing. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm sure. It's been announced that I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, going back to I mean, they just
Look at that dwarf. He looks so sick.
yeah, but they look. I mean, this is me. So full disclosure, this guy has
That's you right there.
big gun.
Right.
He's angry.
Big gun.
He's everything I'm
Angry.
not. I am quite
Right.
angry. I'm grumpy, but you know, and that's the joy of games like this. But yeah, I think we will definitely deep dive into the classes a bit more. And
Yeah.
going back to that whole thing of the levels, the like you say, the armor's cosmetic. Your stats come from trinkets and various other things, which
Yeah.
is unique to this, because usually armor is you put the plate on and then you get extra strength and you get extra health and you get all these things. And in this, it comes from the little trinkets. And
The
again,
thing is, what was it? Go on, sorry. I was going to say, are they called the artifacts? That's what it's called.
Artifacts, that's it.
Artifacts, yeah.
yeah, I feel like in my head, like I'd have these
Trinkets.
trinkets.
We're renaming them now trinkets.
And hey,
Why not?
Why not?
Hey,
No,
it's
if,
still
if
in.
they're called
It's still in
artifacts,
alpha
they're
right
called-
now. We could. All right,
I
artifacts, fine. Okay,
Okay.
we went back on that very quickly.
Well, I don't want to upset the wrong people. I'll still call them
That's fine.
trinkets. You know.
Yeah, we'll call
but
it trinkets.
They can't stop me.
Privately.
That is how my character would play. He calls them. This big guy here with a gun is like, I imagine him being like, these are my trinkets. And he just, whilst he's in the tavern, just throws a 5-year-old pot of pickled eyeballs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see it. I can
You
see it.
And then a bit of lint. And that
Yeah.
lint he's had since he was a child. And that gives him plus 5 luck. Because he's luckily held on to that for the...
But since he was a child, right?
Yeah. Is that not...
Do they need any writers for this game? Is that what you're going for right now? Are you trying to build some lore?
I'm just saying, you
right.
guys have done great. And
Well, it's time for Mike now.
if there's
It's
not...
Mike's time.
If there's not a trinket in the game called Mike's Blue Lint, I don't know where this is going, okay? But I'm just...
Right.
This is the
Let's
level-
move on,
let's
Mike.
move on from
I
that.
feel like the captain's had too much rum and we're steering.
Well, I tell you something, because we've talked about stats, we've talked about health and kind of strength and the well-being of these characters.
Oh,
Shall
yeah.
we talk about our sponsors?
Loonbase. Loonbase is an all-in-one well-being platform for your workplace. Listeners of this podcast can get 1 month free by going to loonbase.com/itsacast. The The founders of Loonbase also run their own podcast called Wellbeing Champions, where they're highlighting mental health advocates and wellbeing champions across various industries. So, to get your month free, head to loonbase.com/itsacast to find out more. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that sponsor. So we've touched on heroes, we've touched on environments, and kind of what we know. We know the beta's hopefully coming soon. But I want to ask you, Carl, from everything you kind of know when you browse the forums and the news and the trailers, what do you want, or what do you predict maybe is going to be in the game? Like, is there anything you're maybe excited to see or would love to see?
Yeah.
That's
player housing is my thing.
Okay.
And it's probably, because especially just sort of like when we're playing Valheim lately, building my little house, getting my little room ready with my little swords and my shields and my chests. Yeah, that's what I like. I'm really excited to see more about the sort of farming aspect, because I'm a sucker for just going and prospecting, getting some ore to build up and crafting my gear.
This is the thing, isn't it? Because I feel like this game, and again, it's often a strong theme in MMOs, is there is that crafting, gathering.
Yeah, hunting, gathering, fishing.
And then
I know that's in there.
Yeah. And then creating something from those raw materials.
Yeah.
So you mine the ore. We've seen it in the trailers. He mines the ore.
Mine ore!
And you can, and I believe you can only do that as a dwarf.
Oh, really?
Disclaimer, I've got no idea. Of course, that would be a daft thing to add, but...
Could you imagine?
But it would create a very interesting economy where you'd have to go to the dwarves.
Bringing it back to someone who's not really played that many MMOs.
Yeah.
Professions, sort of like fishing and stuff. How does all that work? Because I never played RuneScape. I was never massive on that. I know that you, Ben, all that talk about the being... I saw you saw your eyes light up then.
You've hit a nostalgia point there of going back to when things were a lot easier. But like professions are...
Do I have to pick that I want to be a fisherman? Can I fish whenever I want?
I mean, I don't.
Josh is going to love this bit because he knows I love fishing. So
I mean, all I've heard you say for the last 2 minutes is fish. So let's sate that thirst for your salty sea dog, and so the profession side of it is, from my understanding, the most MMOs, and I'm sure we could probably do a bit of digging and actually get the answer for this, is typically you're cooking, you're fishing, kind of maybe first aid is usually one. Those kind of
hunting,
universal, so they're usually nearly all characters can do.
Right.
And then these kind of your more specialized things. So when we're talking about gathering ore, chopping trees, making armor, making weapons. So everyone can cook or learn to cook, but I would argue not everyone could make a proper decent sword or a gun or a piece of armor, but they may be great at making potions or elixirs and stuff like
Potion
that.
Seller.
So they, like your kind of generic professions. And that's where economies in games generally come. Because obviously, yes, we go and slay mighty beasts and we infiltrate hideouts and kill the leaders for their hard-earned wares, and we just take them off them. And no one ever questions that in MMOs or games in general, do they?
Right. No.
The character that is generally seen as the main protagonist that we play, heroic, goes in, slaughters a load of people, takes the shoes off them.
Out.
The money that they've earned.
Pocket watches. I get a lot of pocket watches in games these days.
Yeah, and, you've already got a watch on your hand. Why do you need a pocket watch?
I've got it. Why not?
But,
because they sell.
And no one questions
to the old fencer.
No one questions. Yeah, well, that's it. It's all about the money. But there's a way to make more money, isn't it? And that is professions. So,
right.
There are people, and I mean, RuneScape's probably the one that is the most synonymous with, you can play that game without killing a single thing, and you can make money, and you can, I think you have to be members and stuff, but you can make your own house and stuff. But you can live, if you want to live that sedentary lifestyle, maybe you're all about love and not war.
Yeah.
Maybe you just want to be a little woodcrafter or an armor smith.
Chop some trees.
Chop some trees, turn them into spoons, sell the spoons, profit.
Yeah.
That's kind of professions.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Right.
But in to answer your question, is generally there is universal ones that all characters can have. And then you kind of pick one or two that is you're locked into. And maybe you can change.
So you can't change them after that.
Well,
or maybe
sometimes
you can,
but you'll lose all the progression in that current one. So say you were an armor smith, and that was your primary, and then you thought, I want to be a weaponsmith. You could, usually a cost is involved or a reset of some sort. So now you're a weaponsmith, but you have lost all those points and experience that you had in armor smith. Because you're picking up a new trade. It's like instruments. I don't know what made me think of that. Maybe it was the guitars on your wall that look lovely there in the background.
Lovely.
Like you've got a guitar and you've got a bass guitar.
I do.
And if you were playing guitar and you got really good, and then you just never played that again and just picked up bass, over time you will have forgotten how to play guitar. I know it's not quite as simple as that, but that is the basic premise when you swap professions and stuff.
Lovely.
But yeah, so not only do you get your characters looking badass, and I just keep looking at this screen and I just see these. I want to know more about these people. Like, what's up with him? What's it? What's
the bomber's cool.
Yeah,
they're going to be quick, aren't they? Them.
Well,
in and out.
Blast medic. We typically when we hear healing in MMOs, we think of that kind of druid
healing grenades,
priest. But in this, it's just shoot a grenade and it's gonna explode.
Go chuck a grenade at you, and you're gonna feel better.
Yeah, well, look at this. Where is it? There you go. The blast medic throws a bomb. That's generally how most things start when you're gonna end up being healed, isn't it? You throw a bomb at something.
Exactly.
Which deals magic damage to enemies and heals allies.
Yeah, class.
So you're in the battlefield and this little grenade drops next to you, and you think, "This is where I die." And that it zooms in and the black littles of the eyes just go really pinpricks. But then this lovely magic heals.
Love hearts happen everywhere.
Love and war. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. And like I say, we've covered the environments, we've covered the kind of characters, and these are all things that we're going to be going into a lot more thorough in future podcasts. I think what we'll
I feel like I've been sort of vomiting down the mic of just like spewing what I like about this game out at the moment. So I don't know if it's been very concise and to the point. So if you're still with us, cheers for being with us.
Yeah, we're just hyped. This is why we've done this, isn't it? We're so
exactly. We're just excited.
This kind of, and like this is the other thing I was looking at. Let me just bring something up for the screen for the viewers as well.
You bring something up. Come on.
Let me find where I
was. Yeah, those characters there in that little medieval town are class.
Yeah, and these. Where are we going? Covers. Is it these guys? I want to make sure I bring up the right thing because there's a couple of. Why can't I find what I want when I need to find what I want?
Just the way it goes. It is just the way it goes.
I mean, these are just better images.
These are what we've just been looking at,
But that is not what I wanted. So why can't I find what I wanted? This is typically how it goes, isn't it?
Lovely. Should I mention our Patreon?
Go for it.
Should I do that whilst you're
do
looking
some
for it?
digging, you dazzle everyone with our
Patreon. So you can be part of the show over at our Patreon. It is /itza_podcast. And following us at the silver tier or above, you can submit questions, your thoughts, opinions, and stuff like that you will read out on air. But yeah, it's your way of being part of the show. Anyone who just come over to the Patreon, we can't thank you enough. We've never done a podcast before, so any support, just the best.
Yeah, and
have you?
That's my
Go on.
I'm only just gonna echo what you just said because there is that kind of, we're on this venture. We're finding our feet, but we're hopefully going to be bringing you some pretty good content. I'm really excited. Like I'm excited. Just if it was only ever Corepunk right now, that's the level of excitement I'm on. But I know we've got bigger and generally better subjects, all that kind of things to come. And like I say, the Patreon is a way of going, hey, you guys, cheers for
being the best.
That's what
and you obviously get extra perks.
Oh, there's loads of perks. Yeah, if you head over to the site, you'll see that there's. I won't spoil it.
Let's not do any more selling. Let's not do any more selling.
Spoil it.
We don't need to.
Yeah, so I can't find the thing that I was going to find. So
what was it? Are you going to save it for another time, or are you just going to tell us?
I'm going to save it.
You didn't have anything to begin with.
I probably did.
What?
But, I can't tell you what it is. All right, so leave me alone.
So what's next?
So we've talked about when we first saw the game. We talked about the characters. We talked about the environment. We talked about
what I wanted. What did you want? I didn't ask you what you wanted.
So so you said player housing and that kind of a place to call home.
Home.
Whilst like again, it's not all about killing the monsters. Sometimes you just need to go fishing.
The baddies.
Come back.
Sometimes you need
have a fish supper.
What do you want, Mike?
What do I want? So again, I have played a few MMOs and I've played them for many years. And there's a lot I want, and I feel like there's a lot of things we've covered. I like and this is more, I want this because I know it is going to happen, is the idea that in most MMOs, when you make a character, they are a warrior, they are a priest, they are a such and such. Now, on this, and I think it was recently confirmed about. So said we'll live out my fantasy of being the big orc guy with a gun. So the warmonger. So the warmonger is who I would be. So typically that would then lock me into being. So if this was the warrior equivalent, I am now a warrior.
Right.
I'm limited in the armor I can use, the weapons I can use, the skills I can use. Now, what these guys have cleverly done, and the bit I'm looking forward to and the bit I want from an MMO, is the ability to change without having to log out of this character. So I don't want to be a warrior today, so I'm going to log in and I'm going to play my mage or my hunter.
Right. Yeah.
Don't need to do that with this.
Right.
And this is what I want, and this is why I'm excited, is because the warmonger, like you can see here, we've got the Legionary. So that's...
Let me bring that screen up.
Have you got that? Yeah. So that's...
Yeah, I've got that
like subclass number 1 of the warmonger. So we can see its spells or skills in that case and what it does. So this, from my understanding, so we can just read the blurb here. Legionnaires are tank heroes who fight with a spear and shield, deliver crushing mighty blows. So we saw that big shield in that screenshot before. But I might not want to do that someday. But I want to play my character. I want to be the big green orc. I've got that shiny armor we talked about. I've got it on. I don't want to log off and then be a dwarf.
No.
Nothing against dwarves.
Maybe you want to be a nice orc for the day.
Yeah. So then we just take a scroll down. So rather than being shield, spear, crushing blows, once you've leveled that, I think the way the system works is you get that to max level. So say you get that, whatever the cap is, then you can level the other 3, basically.
Right.
But yeah, so say I've done that, and rather than stabbing them and blocking them and tanking those enemies, I want to shoot some stuff. Now, typically in other MMOs, I'd have to log out and go onto my ranger. Not with this one, Carl.
Nah.
Not with this one.
Oh!
I could just swap to the commando. He's a ranged hero with a minigun. That is what I want. Because you know me probably more than anyone else. I wake up some days and I feel like I want to do nothing at all. And then other days I wake up and I want to be weird.
Do loads.
Yeah, and do loads.
No, okay.
And it's just changeable. And what I like about this is that I can still be my character, but play how I feel like that day. So further down, again, there's a shaman or shaman class. How you say it is tomato kind of situation. So they are melee fighters who can talk to animal spirits and command the elements.
Yeah.
So do I want to be in tune with nature, summoning those elemental spirits? Do I want to shoot things with lots of bullets? Or do I want to stab them with a spear? And the thing I'm excited for and the thing I want from this game is the ability that I can log in and go, I feel like shooting some stuff today. And it not being like my hard progress with this character is like I have to start again with something fresh. I can keep that kind of. And as we've talked with the armors being cosmetic, I would imagine that whatever wares I've gained through being, if I leveled the shaman first, I can keep those cosmetic visuals whilst I'm playing as the commando. And so that's what I want from a game. And this is obviously the thing that we're hopefully going to be getting. And in terms of there's loads of things I want, but what I want most.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I think
that was a good answer.
I just want to play the game.
You just want to play the game? Can I play the game now?
Not quite. Soon. Well,
it's so soon, man. We're in July.
This year has gone crazy fast. I don't quite understand where it's gone. It's worked out though, because it did feel like there was a time where we talked about this and we watched the trailers and like, it's not out for a while. Like we ain't gonna see this. And now it feels like we're just.
It's there. It's within reach.
Like so in the FAQ, game day release, we are planning several stages of closed beta test and then the release. And we know like
well, Eugene said in the last update that was out when they released the beta being 25th of August, he said they're still hoping for the December release.
Yeah,
because they've made so much content through the years of developing this game that they're still hopeful that they can pull it off after they've just tested stuff with the beta.
Yeah, and it will be great to see because obviously, like we say, we've seen the gameplay bits and we've seen kind of the things we've been shown. I can't wait to see what the community finds. You know, like, because if, as we know with all things, there'll always be someone out there who will find that thing and it will be glorious. And that's the excitement. So I'm looking forward to that. I really am.
I'm excited to see the synergy between the classes as well in combat and stuff like that.
And I feel like they were going to get that. I don't feel like, because let's be honest, even if you only had a party of warmongers, even that in itself, if they were all 3 different subclasses,
it can feel like a,
if you've got a guy with a minigun, a guy with But the fact that you've got that plus all these other ones and maybe more to be announced, I don't know if they've said this is what we're getting.
Yeah, no, this is. I think this is just for. I can't think they were focusing on these core heroes, and then but there will be more added.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Definitely.
Yeah. There was one which was mentioned recently, and I can't think. Is it in the news bit? No. Okay. Let me try and find it for you. Sorry.
You do some digging. Look at that. There's snow there. I love.
Yeah, that looks class. This was great as well about Unity getting involved, pushing it.
Yeah, I feel like the guys at Artificial Core know what they want from the game. They're not making a game and just seeing where it ends up. I feel like they've gone with a proper vision. They've stuck to it. They've made those creative choices, like say going top down, choosing the fog of war, choosing how your character develops. I mean, that's the thing we've not touched on this episode, but we definitely will in the more character-based ones. We've got the trinkets and then artifacts and the weapons, but there is those talent trees, and we've seen a video of that as well, haven't we, with the picking the skills and stuff, which we'll definitely dive into, and I think that in itself is going to be what will set a lot of things apart. This is what I was looking for. I found it.
No.
So it's the
concept art.
Concept art, like, and the kind of I mean, these are all, like I said, we just said the concept art, but they just look so good. Like, I've not seen a character's armor, even if it's basic, where it looks rubbish. Like, what games to do is make.
There's no sort of like
like the starter character generally has that rags and stuff, and maybe that is the case in this. But everything I've seen,
torn rag.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at this. Who's this guy? What is this golem? And
is that an outfit for one of the dwarves? That's like
I don't know.
Dwarven
Or it could be something maybe.
The sizing looks cool, doesn't it? From them.
Mm.
I thought it was like a little mask, maybe not. No,
I mean, look at these little creatures here. Look at these little fellas.
These little cuties.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably going to rip your face off, but
why not? They look cute.
Look cute whilst they're doing it.
Kind of. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So we'll dive. I know you love.
Oh, that's.
I mean,
that's
can you
class.
go fishing off the side of a boat? These are the.
I tell you what. I did see in the alpha before they go into that first little building, there's a guy on a motorbike who drives past, and I wonder if motorbikes will be a mount.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I feel like that's probably something, because mounts are.
Because that'd be class.
And it would fit in again, because they've gone for this steampunky aesthetic and part of it being built in the world, like having the guns and stuff. Yeah. A motorbike makes logical sense.
Yeah, well, they've got that big beetle creature they show in their first gameplay trailer that you sat on and it's sort of walking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll definitely dive into these a lot more in future episodes. I just needed to, you can probably tell, just get it out of my system. I'm excited for this game. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait to just see what all these things are, like where they end up in the world. What adventures we're going to go on. We'll definitely, so we'll definitely talk about characters more. We'll talk about the development of builds and talents, PvP.
Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about today, or did you want to leave it here?
I think we're pretty much. I've covered most things. My trusty notepad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done everything I wanted to do. And it we're just getting to that hour mark, which I did say I was the captain of the ship. I've driven us around for about an hour. I have waffled.
You're pulling into port.
Coming into the port now. And if I was to sum up the journey, what boat would you have said this journey was? Just are we on these little ones here?
Oh, we're on that raft. We're on that raft. We're barely hanging on right now.
Here.
But yeah, it's most You tell us in the comments which boat you thought we were on. People are just going to say we're in the water. I know they are. I've never had hate on the internet before, but I've heard it's really bad.
Well, part of me that was like, bring it on, and then I was like, no, that's just inviting it, isn't it, Mike? Shut up.
Yeah, don't do that. Be quiet.
But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Cheers for letting me come and chat with you.
We're gonna go on a journey. This is gonna be a great thing. Like I say, once if we get hold of the beta and obviously eventually the game, I think
it'll be so funny if we're doing this podcast and we don't get the beta. That episode will be hilarious. We didn't get it, but we've really enjoyed watching other people play it.
Yeah, and if you're watching this now and you get into the beta and we don't, please send us your videos and we'll analyze them, because that's how much I'm just all on board. Please
be our friend.
But yeah, if you have enjoyed it, if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We are going to put this on podcast services. If you are
on Spotify, most likely.
If you are already a Patreon, if you're one of the first, you will. I can't thank you enough. And I hope you look forward to the journey that we're going to be embarking on this. Corepunk.
Because this has been fun, and I'm excited to do more and get better over time.
Yep.
See where they go. We're going to stream it once the game's out. We've got a Twitch.
We do have a Twitch. We've got big things coming. Yeah, follow us on Twitter. The handle being...
It's _podcast.
It was almost... That was like...
It was, yeah.
Chef's
you know
kiss. It wasn't because I didn't know what it was. No. But yeah, give us a follow on Twitter and the socials, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.